So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the White Lotus. We hope you enjoy your stay with us this evening, however long this experience lasts. We hope you're able to leave with your heads on your shoulders at the end of the day, as you never know who will be making it out alive when you stay at the White Lotus. I don't even know how this establishment is still going strong. That so far they're making it happen. Renewed for season 4. So yeah, no, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Eazy Conversations, episode 156. I hope you enjoyed listening to us last episode where we broke down our the full tier of Star Wars TV shows and movies in detail. It was a lot of fun. Andor season 2 back in the swing of things. We'll revisit maybe that ranking when that's all said and done. But yeah, no, now I've kind of lost my train. I'm all over the place here, folks. It's been 3 weeks since we recorded, but yeah, no, I'm back in the studio virtually with the homie Matt. So what's up to the people?
What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day right now. Eric, glad to be recording with you. Like you said, it's been 3 weeks. I can't wait for today's episode. I think I have lots to say. You've already said it, White Lotus, very unique show. Can't wait to dive in with you. So yeah, very happy to be here.
Big time, yeah. I'm happy to get into this show with you, Matt. It's kind of been a cultural phenomenon online since its first season, which was only initially planned to be a standalone mini series product that got such a great reception from the masses that Mike White, creator, legendary appearance in School of Rock as Ned Schneebly, of course, he decided to just keep it going and. He created a cult classic here with White Lotus, 3 seasons strong. The third one just wrapped up a few weeks ago at this point. So what we're going to be doing in this one is running it back, talking about seasons 1 and 2, and then fully deep diving into season 3. And then we've cooked up something pretty fun, I think, for you all, where we put together a little dream cast scenario for a 4th season that, I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm pretty sure what I put together has no chance of happening, but I thought it was pretty entertaining, so I'm excited to share that with you and the listeners. So let's bring it all the way back now, 2021. Matt, you just watched all of these White Lotus seasons. I've been watching them since pretty much the start. I followed after season 1 was completed, but I did watch in 2021. So let's talk about season 1. What were your thoughts on that show when you went into it compared to expectations? Like, did it surprise you? What did you think of it?
Yeah, well said. Like, speaking of expectations, I just watched everything in the last 5 weeks. There was a lot of expectations and hype for me because I've heard about this show for 4 years, and I know some of the actors got nominated for awards, and I didn't know what to expect. I just knew every season was different, and this show met my expectations in terms of I've enjoyed every season so far. The format of the show is great, like every season being a standalone, and this show. Let's just first of all, the first thing that popped in my head is the setting on these shows, the way it looks, the aesthetics are amazing. Love the setting, the vacation aspect of it. Like people act differently on vacation. You just came back from vacation, or you can talk about that. Like just like the way you are when you're on vacation, you act differently. And we've seen through the ensemble casts every season have been great, and the different things going on and the intermingling and how everything ties together, at the end in some seasons. I love that. I like movies that have this format, and this show is just, 6, 7, 8 episodes of it. So my first impression, super solid. Season 1 is only 6 episodes. It's the shortest one, but it's a nice intro to the show in terms of every season I feel like builds off the last one. It ups the ante. And season 1 was good, Eric. Mm-hmm. It is my least favorite season. I'll tell you that right now. But it's a nice it's a nice appetizer of things to come. Yeah. What are your thoughts on season 1 initially?
Interesting. So I liked season 1 a lot. I went into it just hearing about the hype that people were talking about it, but I don't think it was built up to the point that it has been now. So for you going into season 1 after the 3 seasons are pretty much out, you had higher expectations than me. But for me, I was just pleasantly surprised. I thought it was entertaining, very funny. It's a weird show though. Like I definitely wouldn't say it's your traditional comedy or even drama at that point. Like the big intrigue that each season has, it hooks you from the start. It's like there's a murder on the resort, and the season opens with that. So you kind of have that expectation of like, okay, there's a death. We're going to find out who, in fact, died because we're bringing it back a week prior each time. So that kind of hooked you in right away. And in the first season, they're kind of making it seem like it's Shane, aka Plop from The Office, his wife is the one we all assume has died because he's being interrogated or talked to by this older couple. They're asking, "Oh, our honeymoon, where's your wife?" And then he kind of just tells them to fuck off, basically. So you kind of assume that she's the one who died. So I like how they mislead you there. And then yeah, the range of actors that they bring in for me is a big plus. Where they mostly go for B tier or even C tier actors. Who you recognize them like, oh yeah, that guy or that girl, but they're not the A list. Like no Jennifer Anistons,
Yeah.
no who else? They're I don't know, but Margot Robbie. They're getting kind of like Alexandra Daddario is kind of a big name. Like you've seen her in a lot, but she's also not like
Yeah.
hasn't been a lead actress in a lot of show or movies. Sydney Sweeney, kind of same thing. She wasn't as known at the time yet. Yeah, and then like guys like Steve Zahn as the he was hilarious. Like he was one of my standouts in the season where he alongside Armand, the hotel manager. Like those are kind of the ones who stood out the most to me in season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the different groups you have, like 3 or 4 groups you're following along, and just seeing them intermingle, and then yeah, the build up to who's the one who gets killed is the main intrigue. Those are the kind of the things I like, that you're invested for the murder mystery aspect, but there's also just character development and growth, personal growth along the way, that I can kind of forego big storyline. Really, like I just like following these people around the resort. That's for me that works, but for some people I know it doesn't do it for them, so they kind of unhook from the show.
Yeah. You said a lot of good things there, Eric. This show lives and dies on the strength of its characters. Because you're right, it's not always super compelling or exciting episode, but like if you like the characters, you're hooked, which I was. The first thing you said, the tone of the show, like, is it comedy, drama? I think that's the show. One of the show's assets is you can't pigeonhole it into a genre, because like I think it's funny sometimes, but then it gets serious, it gets messed up, it's darkly humorous at times. It's vicious, savage, lighthearted in some moments. Like you can't just say, oh, it's just this or it's just that. I think it's many things which appeal like that. I loved it, Eric. You know what I liked? A big plus, and at first I wasn't sure, but the music throughout the seasons is amazing. Just like the background music, it's great. Like I'm playing it in my head right now, and I'm imagining being at the White Lotus. It's awesome. Oh, yeah. The script is solid, like razor sharp writing. I like seeing kind of like the mundane things people do on vacation. I didn't mind that at all. I kind of like that. Very enjoyable to watch. You mentioned some of the characters, so you got like Jennifer Coolidge's character Tanya. She's in season 1 and 2. Like I wasn't sure at first, but I grew to like her character a lot, especially in season 2. You know, she's not. None of these characters are perfect. A lot of these are flawed characters, which is what I like. Everyone, you know, has their own vices and spirals out of control. Armand in season 1's like the highlight for me. He's great. Like his descent from episode 1 to episode 6 is wild, Eric. Wild. And like, I did not expect some of those twists and turns. That was definitely the highlight, and a couple like shocking endings to some episodes, right? Like when Sydney Sweeney and her friend discover Armand in the bellhop, like that, like ending to that episode, that was crazy. You're right, B-C cast of actors like Steve Zahn, Connie Britton, or the Mossbackers, and then their 3 kids, and Daddario and Rachel and Shane. And you're right, he is in The Office. Good freaking reference there. I forgot about that. But yes, and Belinda also, she's like a masseuse or like a therapist, massage therapist. She's good. I like her and Tanya's dynamic. You know, this show isn't a mile a minute action, like crazy scenes. It's very calm, leisurely paced. I don't know if leisurely is the right word, but like it's a good pace. It's not super hyper. It takes its time, but it doesn't drag, I find. And it's interesting enough. You like following the characters. You get like a lot of rich people and basically like their problems. You know, money isn't their issue. It's other things. You know, when money's not a problem, you find a million other problems. Example, look at Tanya. You know, she's trying to be so nice to Belinda, like promising all these things, and like, you know, it doesn't pull through in the end. Leaves her hanging. What do you think? Let's talk about the setting. Hawaii. Like, that's a great opening for season 1. That's a perfect vacation spot. I'm an even bigger fan of season 2 and 3 of the setting, but I thought Hawaii was appropriate for just like the first intro season. I didn't know it was going to just be like a one-off. That's interesting, but I guess it got so popular. Yeah, was Armand as well for you, Eric, like the highlight of season 1, or were there any big other highlights you want to mention?
Yeah, like when I think of season one, I think Armand. Like that's the big memory I have. I've only seen season one once, whereas I've seen season two twice in its entirety. So those characters stuck with me a bit more. But I think season one, it's instant Armand. Obviously Tanya, like the scene that you mentioned that Tanya grew on you in season one. I remember there's a boat scene where she goes to dump out her mother's ashes, and then Shane and Rachel are supposed to have this romantic night. If I'm remembering correctly, I was dying of laughter watching that scene. So Tanya was one of the comedic highlights as well. I don't want to gloss over her, but Armand is the superstar number one center of this season, no doubt. As for the setting, absolutely love it. It's perfect to introduce us to this world of luxury. And like you said, pretty much obviously every family there is loaded. The Mossbachers are in the top 0.1% of the world. And then they got Paula there for some reason. She's Olivia, aka Sydney Sweeney's friend. I just want to bring it back to what you said about this being your least favorite season. I would say it's my middle season for sure. But I think one of the reasons why it's lower than my number one season is because some of the storylines, like I said, I really only remember the Armand story, like him and Shane going to war. Like that was also hysterical. But otherwise, I don't feel like that much happens, and the storylines aren't as fulfilling as they are in other seasons, right? So, like the Sydney Sweeney and her friend's storyline, I remember thinking that there was a jealousy dynamic there, and maybe there'd be more to the story, and I feel like it was very underwhelming in terms of what ends up happening with those two girls. Even the other brother, he just ends up staying on the island. He's kind of a weirdo character, not fully fleshed out. The dad had his funny moments for sure, like finding out about his father. Like that was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
But even at that, other than a few chuckles here and there with Armand, they interacted at the bar together. There wasn't a whole lot I found in there that was that good. Love the Tanya and Belinda stuff, and that's kind of the theme of this season was money. Like that, every season kind of has a theme. Season 1 was money, season 2 is sex, and then season 3 was religion. Is kind of how it was marketed. I'm not just coming up with this off the dome here. That you're really seeing like money corrupts, and I think that's consistent throughout the whole show. But Tanya, overpromise, underdeliver. At the end of the day, like she just completely bails out on Belinda, and in her mind, like she did nothing wrong. She's like, I'm sorry, like I met this guy Greg, and I'm out of here basically. So you're kind of seeing like the rich keep getting richer, and they get away with pretty much with murder literally, and no repercussion. It's the poor who along the way. That's the thing I like about this show is that you see like bad people kind of get away with stuff, and the truly good people rarely are rewarded. That's a big plus of this show for me.
Very well said, Eric. You see, like Shane, he's such an entitled little brat, and like dragging his mom into it and complaining. Like him and Armand's exchanges are hilarious. Like wanting the pineapple sweet and like like this is what my mom paid for. This is what we reserved. This is what we paid for. And like his relationship with Rachel and where it ends up, like he's very controlling. And there's some good relationship stuff there without beating over the head with it. Like it's not like the main focus, but it's there in the background. Rachel's trapped, and anyways, and then it leads to Armand's destruction at the end because he just loses it, and as soon as he takes that first pill, he like takes Olivia's friend's bag, and that's funny. I like seeing like the background of like running the hotel with Armand and his bellhops, like his staff. You see that in like every season, right? There's always a staff member or a hotel manager. I kind of like that, you see like the underbelly of how it's White Lotus is run. Season 1, it's good that it's 6 episodes because I don't know if I could have watched this for 10, I think the other 2 seasons have more meat on them. Whether it's good meat or bad meat, we'll get into that. But like season 1 was a great intro to a show. It's a great like start of a show, honestly. And in season 2 and 3 they were able to add more characters and more like substance. But season 1 I really enjoyed, Eric, and I'd recommend it to everybody. It's not a show that's like, oh yeah, this show's like hilarious, you'll be laughing a mile a minute, or this show's super dramatic and intense. It's a bit of both. So it's very unique in that aspect, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say in season 1. I feel like there's more things for the other seasons, but did you have anything else for season 1, Eric, before we move on?
Not really. I'll just want to touch on, like, this could come up at any time, really. But like you said earlier, the music is hypnotizing, and you did oh my God, you did mention that we were on a vacation, my father and I, a few weeks ago there, and we did play the White Lotus theme song on the golf course, and it bangs out there. It's perfectly fitting out on that, in that setting there. It never gets old. But yeah, no, I love the music. Anytime they play like those, it's like, yeah, the hymns are just melodic. It's beautiful to listen to, and it's pretty much always the same soundtrack in every season, but I never get tired of it. They do switch up the theme song every season. I think season 2 actually had my favorite theme song, then 1, then 3. I actually skipped season 3's theme song, so maybe they got to get back to the drawing board for season 4 and come up with something a little more catchy. But that can segue. Yeah, I have nothing else to say for season 1. Head over to season 2, which I'll just say now is my favorite season of this show because of the point I mentioned earlier. I feel like there are more interesting storylines overall that all get, in my mind, a satisfying conclusion. You get good character development. You're seeing from the ground, the boots on the ground level, the hose working the streets, all the way up to the riches. And again, it's a similar sense of the rich get richer, or the bad people kind of just keep doing what they're doing. And I'll just say right now, with Lucia and Mia, like, they're running a pick and roll in that hotel there with the other two guys who you quickly see are bellhops at another hotel at the end of the season, and you know they're doing the same thing, probably with a different clientele with the women, and they're scamming people. They're the true winners of season 2. Just wanted to get that out there right now. But yeah, no, I was surprised to see Jennifer Coolidge pop up in season 2. I thought it'd be a brand new cast. I did like seeing her there, and in my mind, that made me think immediately that she was going to be our consistent character in every season, solidifying in my head that she was safe for this season, and boy, was I wrong there. So yeah, season 2, those are my opening thoughts. More fleshed out, satisfying conclusion, best season of the show, in my opinion.
It is for me too, Eric. Season 2 is my favorite. One, because of the setting. Like, I love the Italian setting. I absolutely love it. I love how it opens. Beautiful season to watch. Like, this is my favorite White Lotus location. So 100%. The storylines are my favorite too. There's a lot of like you said, cons happening and like trickery afoot, and like, who knew Greg would be the one in all 3 seasons? Like, I thought it was Tanya too, because I saw Jennifer Coolidge, like the main cast member, but that whole Tanya's, like, I guess, demise is Tanya and Portia's adventure in this season is very interesting to follow. I love Tom Hollander, the short British guy who's in Pirates 3. He's great as forget his name. I don't even know if I wrote it down, but Quentin.
Yep.
That whole storyline's great. I love the DeGrassos, the grandfather, father, and son. Great stuff. F. Murray Abraham as Bert, like the grandfather. He's hilarious. His comments had me rolling. The dad, I forget the actor's name, but you know, Chrissy from The Sopranos. He's like, I can feel he doesn't want to be like a sex addict, but like he cannot help himself. Like he starts staring at, sees a beautiful woman, he's completely hooked. Like it's tragic, but like he's the author of his own destruction. And then Albie, his son, so naive and like innocent, and gets freaking played like a fiddle. You know, self-proclaimed nice guy, but like doesn't, kind of strikes out with Portia at first, and like, you know, like he's too nice. He's the guy that's like, are you okay right now? Are you okay right now? Instead of just like doing it, like have some, anyways. I also enjoyed low-key Valentina, the hotel manager. Like, what, you know, she kind of reads situations totally wrong with the other hotel clerk, the girl. Totally read that whole. I felt like secondhand embarrassment and cringe for her the whole time, but also enjoyed her character. Do you see that the escorts' names were Mia and Lucia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I love their dynamic too. You know, one wants to like kind of get out of the game and become the new pianist and like singer at the little restaurant. That was cool. And her friend's a great actress, I guess, in the show because she like plays Albie like a fiddle. That was interesting. This one doesn't go where I thought it'd go. You know, like example, when the DeGrassos finally get to like their relatives' home, we don't get the little happy moment there. We get basically like the get off our property type deal. That was pretty funny. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite season because the characters, these are the best characters in my opinion. What else? Who else do we got?
Well, I just want to jump in actually, if you don't mind. Like I just you put it out super well, and I didn't even think of this where pretty much every storyline in this season is like your expectations versus reality. It never ends up being what you would hope it would be. Like I'll be with Lucia and I'll be with Portia even, and along the way he does learn lessons that you kind of got to go for it a little more if you want certain things in life. Going to see their family, like they just get hushed away, like screamed at and kicked. They want nothing to do with the Americanized Italians. Them, yeah, pretty much everyone is running a con, and it's, even though it does look glamorous and it looks like, oh my god, I have everything I'll ever want and need in my life. Like Portia goes off with Jack and thinks like, oh, this is a guy who takes control and like is just like a caveman, just like gives it to her on demand pretty much, and she's loving life. Portia with all the gays. Quentin, you again blew my mind. I had no idea that actor played Beckett in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Did not click at all. I had to look that up. But yeah, so like it looks glamorous. They're living this opera style life over in Palermo, living the dream. Even Ethan with Aubrey Plaza, like that's the other major storyline, right? It's Ethan and Harper, and then Cam and is it Daphne? Yeah, Cam and Daphne. He's now achieved a level of riches that he worked so hard for all these years, and now he can be at the same level as his friend Cam, played by Theo James, but has actually eclipsed him now. And now he's seeing a whole other reality where like his friend's like, dude, everyone cheats. He's like, just Theo James, gotta shout him out, plays the ultimate scumbag in this scene. Like he's the douchebag to roll to a T. I saw this season twice. He's hilarious in this show. Like if you hate him watching it the first go around, you find a lot of humor in what he's saying in the second go. It's hysterical. And yeah, just like that was an interesting storyline. That also is another big reason why I love this show is that this season is, it's kind of open-ended at the end what happens with Ethan and Daphne. Like, she brings him to this island. Do they hook up? Do they not? I 100% believe that they did, but they don't show it to you. It's kind of like up to your interpretation and imagination as to whether they did or not, and that kind of saved their marriage. And they're kind of winners of this season, even though it's in a heartbreaking realization that what it took for their marriage to be happy and to accept the lifestyle that they now have is that they had to be unfaithful to one another, but that's just how it is at the top of the game. Like it's pretty crazy, but it was an interesting storyline to follow. So that's probably the most interesting story in up there anyways. Like I really enjoyed that one. What do you think of those four? Like those two couples?
Exactly. Like, this is my favorite season because every bouncing around to character from character, like I was intrigued with the storyline. The Ethan and Harper were great. Like Aubrey Plaza was so good. Like, you know, like she knows the information. She's questioning Ethan. He's lying to her. It's like you feel bad for her. And yes, Theo James was amazing. I'm really growing on. Like he's really grown on me between The Gentleman and this. And he was in a movie I just watch that came out this year too that I'll get to later, but ultimate scumbag, it's great. But like you kind of understand why he's doing this, you know, like he used to be the king in college. Ethan was his under, like now Ethan's the top dog, you know, sold his idea for $1 million, like ton of money. Ethan was good, like a super subtle performance, a lot of stuff going on there. He's actually the tour guide in A Real Pain. I looked it up because I was like, I've seen this guy before.
What? Oh my god.
Weird moments with him, you know, like some weird moments with him. Like he goes for a jog every morning and then like he comes back and he's got, I guess he's the endorphins. He's got a super beautiful wife, but he's got to like pleasure himself, like super randomly too. I don't know, but like what is he doing right now? Like, and he's super honest about it too. I thought he was gonna hide what he was doing. He's like, oh, this is exactly what I was doing. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And then like when the girls leave and then the boys are by themselves, I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I knew right away where that was headed. And like Ethan did the right thing at the end of the day. Like he didn't engage with Lucia, I think, or Mia, whichever one was with him, and he kind of like he shut that down really well. I was very happy in that moment. I was like, all right, I can't say the same for the other characters that were tempted, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like I was like, what would I do in this situation? I put myself in a lot of character situation. I'd be like, how would I react? This is like very hard, and this season had a lot more like intense stuff. Like you said, sex is the main theme. Absolutely. Look at the DeGrasso family. Like you can tell Dominic, the dad.
Yeah.
His dad was just like that. F. Murray Abraham was just the same, and even told his dad, like, yeah, we knew you were cheating on mom. Like, you didn't do a good job of hiding it. He's the exact same. Albie, different for now, but who knows if he'll eventually follow in the footsteps of that. I don't think so. He's such a genuine, nice guy. Like, yeah, I like how that story wraps up. Honestly, like he gets conned. Like the dad transfers him the money in the hopes that he talks to the mom and daughter to reconcile. That was good. Like right away, as soon as the son throws that, his eyes light up like, oh, you'll do that for me? Perfect. I'll transfer you the money. The dad though, the grandpa had some great lines. Like when they're all like one of the like Lucia or Mia, he's like, oh, like father, like I think they all see. I guess the grandfather doesn't sleep with her, but the other two do. Yeah. I don't know. Did you like the Valentina storyline, the hotel manager?
Yeah, thank you for bringing it back to her. So online, like obviously watching White Lotus season 3 week to week, people were very critical of the hotel manager, which is an important role in White Lotus. They didn't like the one in season 3. And everyone was saying like, you'll never be these two, Valentina and Armand. And I'm thinking like, I didn't like Valentina at all. I thought she was a very weak manager compared to Armand, personally. And I thought there was a bit of revisionist history on Valentina being this amazing hotel manager. You're saying you liked her. Maybe I'm in the minority here. Just personally, like I wasn't a huge fan of her. I don't know. She didn't do it for me. I didn't find her that funny. But you describing like how she's misreading everything, it actually is pretty funny, sad, cringy. She was for sure better than the one in season 3. But for me, Armand is just in such a higher, like if we're doing tiering here, it's not even close in my books anyways. So yeah, all that to say, it wasn't that crazy about her. Did like that Mia was able to open up her world a little bit and give her some for her birthday. That was good for her. But overall, I can't say she was one of my favorite characters of this season. More than that, yeah, I mean, what else is left to say for this season other than the death in this season? So Tanya, we kind of touched on it. Wasn't expecting it at all. I thought she was in the clear after the shootout on the yacht. That was pretty crazy. I thought it was a little unbelievable though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what are the odds she's clipping these guys with the Desert Eagle headshots for days, 1v6, and then the way she dies is just hilarious though. Like she's in the clear, slips and knocks her head on the escape boat. It's very Tanya, I will say. It's a great way for her to go. Just unfortunate. And yeah, what that season did is really it set up Greg now as the Emperor Palpatine of this saga.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like how I knew something was off right away with them approaching Tanya and like, why are they so interested in her? Obviously, they know she's like an heiress to like a fortune, right? She inherited all this. She's ultra rich, but like I didn't know what their motive was right away, Eric. Honestly, it took me a while. Then I'm like, okay, nefarious ends. Like it's scary how these rich people are like they're super nice to her face, but like they're all like ultimately wanting her demise. Like it's very dark in that aspect. But there's some funny things happening at first in that with that storyline. But then it goes full dark, and like you're like, holy crap! It's a little scary because stuff like that probably happens in real life, right? So it's pretty eye opening. That you get to see like the super rich how they live, and like Tanya's going from like party to party with all this extravagant like people, and like Tanya is very naive. Okay, like yes, people flattering you might be blinded by that, but like eventually it's like even she was in disbelief sometimes. Like, oh my god, you like think I look this beautiful? You think like they bring her to the opera and they sit the like super like the high societies there. Like she had alarm bells in her head going like, okay, what is going on right now? But I guess she's just blinded by the riches, the extravagance, right? That high society life. And Portia wasn't with her really to warn her. She was doing her own side thing, and she figures stuff out too really quickly. I'm glad at how her story wraps up too, like with Jack, and yeah, I really enjoy it. Like, I don't want to say much more. Season 2 was great in my opinion, my favorite. I would revisit it like you did. Yeah, very, very solid season. I loved it.
Would recommend. I couldn't stand Jack personally. I don't know what you think about him. First or second viewing does not get better anytime in the second viewing. He's like he's met Portia, and then 10 minutes later he's like, yeah, I'm wearing my special underwear. You'll get to see them later. She's like, oh, okay then. Like this guy, he was a little too aggressive and bold. I'll say it was a bit much. I found. There are some funny lines though with her and him. She's like, that's not your uncle. I was like, no, it is my uncle. She's like, yeah? You fuck your uncle? He's like, well, it's pretty funny.
That was a crazy reveal.
Oh my god, that was a lot. For sure. I like Portia. I was a fan of Portia. I'm glad she made it out alive, for sure.
Yeah, she's great. Jack being like what Albie wants to, like Portia telling Albie to act more like someone like with Jack, but Jack was a little too much of it. You need the middle ground of the two, so yeah. But yeah, the setting, oh my god, every scene I was like, this is such a gorgeous country and hotel in Italy, and oh my god, it's just wanted to be there. Just the sun, the Mediterranean aspect of it, gorgeous.
One last thing I'll just say on this, again, adds to the genius of season 2. So, and this, I also had to, people were commenting this on YouTube there, so I didn't fully piece it together myself, but it's heavily insinuated that Cam and Daphne, their kids are not with Cam, right? Like it's her trainer's kids that she has. I don't know if you put that together yourself, but
no.
Basically, anytime there's a scene where the kids come up, Cam is kind of like rolls his eyes like he's not about it, and when she shows a picture of her kids to Harper, she's talking about her trainer and saying like, oh, he's this beautiful guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, and then she shows her pictures of her kids. They have blonde hair, blue eyes. And then when at the end of the show there's a FaceTime scene where she's talking to the kids and she's like, Cam, come say hi to your kids. He's like, and then he goes into the room, like, hey, puts on a big smile, and like, so it's like little things like that are hinting towards the fact that those aren't his kids. And she even says like, there's ways to put up with the stuff that he does, like, so that's.
Oh, that's amazing! I did not know that at all. That's awesome, Eric.
So that's why, like, wow. I put this season at the top in that there's these little blink and you miss it pieces that just elevate it even more. It's a genius season of TV. Genius. Which is why I was in my top 5 of 2022, if you'll recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, season 3 now, Matt. You kick us off with this one.
Okay.
What'd you think of season 3?
Season 3 in Thailand. I gotta say, I love the setting. Like, that was cool. Like, the exotic nature of this White Lotus. Loved it. Like you, like the music wasn't crazy about the music like 1 and 2, but like the look of this season is great too. This is the longest season too. I believe 8 episodes.
Yep.
This season had some highs and lows for me. I loved the build-ups in this season. Not necessarily think they landed the finish in every storyline. I did not. The finale episode had a lot of like, oh, I didn't think this would have happened. But anyways, let's get into like the intro to the characters. Like the the Ratcliffes. Love them in terms of love Jason Isaac. Great actor. He was good in this. Like, what worse way to start a vacation than getting that news on the phone, right? Where you're like, holy shit, your whole life's coming to an end, like, career-wise, and you might get arrested. Like, that was stressful as hell. Like, I was getting secondhand, like, anxiety from his situation and, like, how he has to put up a face for his family, and what do you do? And then when they suggest to put the phones away, he's like, all right, let's put them away. Let's ignore. That was cool. His freaking annoying wife, played by... Parker Posey, she was great. The kids, I like the kids like Saxon, Lockley, and Piper. Like Patrick Schwarzenegger, I thought he was good in this. I liked him. He was very 100%. Annoying. Where his storyline goes is wild, but I like the Radcliffes. They were interesting to follow. Sometimes a little like with the whole daughter wanting to join that Buddhist cult thing, that was sometimes I want to get back to the other stories, but like I didn't mind that either. Super rich again though, and like entitled little bratty kids, and like they can do whatever they want. So yeah, that family was interesting. Love Walton Coggins' storyline, like Rick and Chelsea. I thought she was good too. Chelsea, Amy Lou Wood, I thought she was really good. Yeah. I was gonna no. Anyways, Walton very annoyed at first, right? Like Rick, he's very like I'm like, what's the deal with this guy? He's like, you're on vacation, you're acting like a prick. Like she puts up with them, and she's just like, everyone wants a partner like that. Like she's the ultimate partner, super supportive, really beautiful, and like he's just an asshole. But then like you find out more, and before I get into the other storylines, Eric, what do you think of those two sets of characters?
Yeah, okay, so I'll work in reverse. So, like you just said, like this guy's annoyed right off the rip. Sure, maybe it was a long travel day or two, but like you're here, you're with this girl who's half your age pretty much. Very lucky to be with her in this state that he's in pretty much, and I'm not really seeing what she's seeing in him basically. Like that never fully came across to me. She's like, oh, he's my soulmate. I didn't really get that, to be honest. Like he wasn't really giving her much back, and she was, like you said, ultimate partner. So it was very strange there, but this being said, was a huge fan of both the characters. Like I liked her a lot, and I did like Rick in that he did have this like mysterious aura. You know, there's some trauma there that we kind of flesh out through the season. He's a kind of a badass too. Like he's a shoot first, think second kind of guy, like a ghoul, if you will. And he had a lot going for him for sure. And then it's the Ratcliffes, not to be mistaken with Mr. Ratburn. But they're really good. Like Jason Isaac played the stressed out dad to a T. Like you could feel his hairs becoming grayer by the minute. It was insane the way he was really conveying that stress out of his mind. Like my life's falling apart before my very eyes at any moment. Parker Posey, fantastic as Victoria. She was kind of like your Jennifer Coolidge in this season. Like she really replaced Tanya McQuad, which I'm surprised we've gone this long without saying her full name. Always got a laugh out of me. But yeah, she was hilarious. Like every line that she would deliver was kind of iconic. Like, you want to live in Taiwan? What? there's some hilarious. Like he better be the best Buddhist in China. Like she's just so out to lunch, and I found her very hilarious. And ultimately, as spoiled. Like you talk about the kids were spoiled. Well, it kind of starts at the top. She was as spoiled as they get, saying that she could not envision herself living a life without the luxuries that she's kind of just been gifted throughout whatever the last 40 or so years. Or maybe she comes from royalty as well, who knows, probably.
Yeah.
The kids, super interesting how they all develop in their own unique way, right? Like, what's her face? Parker, like on her Buddhist journey, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to stick the whole time. Like she's so hell bent on like, I'm moving here for a year and then we'll see. I want to distance myself from whatever my family has. Like, you know, it's not going to be people like we've talked about already this episode. The reality does not live up to your expectations, and the outcome that you envision is not what ends up happening in these shows. I knew she wasn't going to stay there. I thought someone else from the family was, either Lachlan or the dad, if anything. Those were my two kind of picks that I thought were going to end up becoming Buddhists, especially given what's going on with Jason Isaacs. I thought he was, because he also liked what he saw there. So Patrick Schwarzenegger, one of the standouts of the season. Saxon was hilarious. Like every season had like a douchebag. Like in season 1 it was Shane. Season 2 it was Cam. Season 3 it was our boy. He doesn't do drugs. He is the drug. Saxon. He like almost every single line this guy was spewing was cracking me up. And then Lockie. Jesus H. Christ. Isn't enough therapy in the world for that poor bastard. But he also had a crazy journey, right? Where he goes from innocent to very like aware of the harsh realities of the world. So ultimately liked where each of those characters landed. Probably Piper the least. Piper the least in terms of was it that earned her full like realization that she also needs these riches? I don't know, but regardless, it happened and it ends up being good. But I think Saxon was the driving force out of the family. While I do like what all 5 brought to the table. Those are my thoughts on those 2 groups. For now.
Yeah, Saxon has the ultimate confidence, right? Like he's trying to hook up with people, like he's talking to all the ladies, and he's very confident. Lockley, the ultimate people pleaser, you know, brother included. Like that was so like I did not. That Eric was jumping out of my couch, like holy shit, like what the hell just happened? But Lockley has there's some severe damage there in terms of like he doesn't think he's good enough. He's got to like please everybody, and he's a good son in terms of like he doesn't cause trouble, but like holy Christ, he's a pushover as hell. Like Saxon forcing him to pound these these shakes, protein shakes, and which I like how the blender plays a huge role in this season, right? Gets brought up early, dismiss it, becomes very important. Even the fruit mentioned at the beginning, right? I liked how that ended, honestly. I didn't want anybody to die. Obviously full spoilers, but like Lockley does not die. I like that. Okay, the other characters. Anyways, Belinda's back in this. Yeah. So, second season with Belinda. She's totally a different person. Spots Gary, a.k.a. Greg. That's really cool. They don't, like, beat you over the head with that storyline, which was fine, and even bring her son into it. What I love, I'll just get into this now. I love this part of the season where she basically Tanya's that other guy at the end, you know. She has the money now. She tells him she wants to do something with him. She doesn't do it. She fucks off, just like Tanya did to her. I love how that came full circle. She did to someone what happened to her in season 1. Whether she wanted to or not, like, she was nice about it, but, like, the reality of it, she couldn't help this guy. I forget his name. He was, like, the guy she hooked up with.
Porn
the
Thai
guy. Right.
Yeah.
Would not have... that I like. I like stuff like that. So, like, you know, she's become, like... just like Tanya behaved towards her in season 1. I love that stuff, Eric. Love it. The whole negotiation scene with Gary, a.k.a. Greg, like, and her son, that was funny. Where, like, her son's kind of annoying, but, like, he was like, no, we have to have confidence, and we have to, like, highball, like, we have to go high, and we'll see what he says. Like, that was cool. Did you like you know, every season starts with, like, the ending. This one had a pretty crazy start with the gunshots. Like, did you think it was going to go crazy, or like, what were your expectations seeing that first scene with the son and the gunshots? Like, were you like, okay, we're in for a wild ride, or what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, for sure they keep upping the stakes, right? Like every season there seemed to be more people that died. Well, more people died in season 2 than in season 1. So with the gunshots openly happening on the resort, I'm figuring like, yeah, we're seeing like a baker's dozen of bodies here at this point, because there's sounding like multiple shooters. So didn't know who was going to be. Then you meet the characters. I think your initial reaction is to expect Rick to be one of the people involved. That's kind of an easy assumption to make, given his predisposition of violence and just kind of like his attitude, saying like you can clearly see he's here on this resort for a reason, right? And it's not one of the good reasons. He's not there for some R&R. So you know that I thought he might be involved, but then you're also thinking it's too obvious, so they're misleading you. But then it ended up being him who was the catalyst for all this. So, yeah, I knew we were going to be in for a ride for sure. I didn't want Belinda to be one of the people in the crossfires. I'm glad she wasn't. And I'll just bring it back to like this storyline as well with him. I love the negotiation scene with her son. A bit overconfident and unrealistic. I'll say that this kid is like kind of running point and spewing these monologues out to Greg, aka Gary, here, and they end up winning. But I loved how like I believed Belinda when she's like, "Nope, I'm getting out of here. We're not doing this." And then she's like, "You go back in there and you close." And like that was a great. I love that scene. I kind of that scene made me wish we had more of Zion and Belinda and even Greg. Those three kind of interacting together. I thought that was great. And yeah, you say you love that scene with poor Porn Shy and Belinda. For sure, like it's a cyclical. It just goes to show like this happens all the time. Basically, these rich people don't give a shit. They'll tell you what you want to hear, but then when they get what they want, they're out of here, and they don't even give you a second thought. It's great, but it's also sad at the same time, right? But no, great stuff. So yeah, no, I knew they were gonna up the stakes in this season for sure. As you go along, like there was a few people I didn't want to see die. Like you said earlier, I didn't want Lockie to die. Like I felt bad when.
Yeah, me neither.
As soon as you see him wake up, his family's gone. I'm like, is this guy gonna start licking the residue pina colada on the floor? And like I thought he was dead for sure. And then you see the blender. I'm like, this guy's cooked. But I'm glad that that wasn't the case and that he made it through. I felt bad for I forget his name now. Tim Ratliff, like Jason Isaacs, like. He almost killed his entire family, and then saw what would have happened had his son not woken up after, like by the pool. Like I felt so bad. It was a heartbreaking scene, but then glad he got out of it. So now we can move over to the next two groups, like with the women. So Leslie Bibb, Carrie Coon, and Michelle Monaghan as Kate, Lori, and Jacqueline, respectively. Don't think I would have pulled all those names if I didn't have them in front of me. But overall, I was a fan of them, seeing those three interact. It's like a classic case of like your old friends. You see how you've all changed over the years, but also are kind of the same as you were since day one, right? Like everyone has those same insecurities, and they get heightened when they're together in this context. I kind of expected more to come out of this, though, I will say. Like, it was a bit underwhelming in terms of the payoff. I liked when the Russians got in there and they were going out with them. You're seeing Michelle Monaghan's insecurity. Like, I knew for sure that she was going to hook up with somebody when she kept pushing to Lori that, oh, you're the only single one. You have to hook up with him. Like, I knew that she was going to end up being the one who actually hooks up with someone. I didn't see it being Valentine, but I did know that she was going to do something like that. She kept talking about, like, oh, we're so happy together, her and her husband, who's probably doing the same thing while she's away. Like, he's with an assistant on set, like, no questions asked. An understudy, perhaps an extra. But anyway, so... that storyline was good. Like, I think they had some good dialogue at the dinner table, but overall, like, I kind of felt bad that nothing really happened. They're all like, Carrie Coon's character was the standout in my opinion. She kind of just says like, like I tried all these things, it failed for me, and I have to just accept that. And they're all there like, yep, that's right. You're the loser of the three of us. Like, that's kind of my takeaway, was that we all have our roles in this group, and two of us are winners, and one of us is someone who, like, everything falls apart. But you should still be thankful that you have us forever. Like, there was a sad revelation I found, and I didn't love it overall.
Yeah, it was a decent storyline, not great, but you nailed it, Eric. Maybe the two winners are just bringing her along, to make themselves feel better. Like, we're doing her a favor. I love how when the three of them are together, they're all smiling and cheerful and maybe a little phony with each other. And then when two of them are together, they're bashing the third one. And then it goes into a circle where each two is bashing the other when the other one went to sleep or is not around. Love that. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, it wasn't my favorite storyline to follow. Carrie Coon was very good, actually. I thought she did a great job. Mm-hmm. She's in a lot of movies, but always as like side characters. And I've never realized how much stuff she was in that I've seen before. But she was really good. When they party with the Russians, I was like, all right, what's going to happen? It was fairly obvious, like you said. I saw that coming too. The Russians being the architects of the robbery, going into our last storyline with Gay Talk and Mook, like, that was pretty crazy. Like, he was hesitant, Gay Talk, the security guard / like the gate guy, like, he was hesitant at first. Like, he doesn't want to, like, be a violent person, but ultimately becomes like one of the most violent persons at the end, under order. we'll get to the end after. But I like the little relationship aspect with him and Mook. You know, she kind of wants a guy that's badass, and she likes that he fixes her bike at the beginning. That like earns a lot of brownie points for him. And yeah, she was good. She's played by actually a huge K-pop star, Lisa from Blackpink. I was reading up on that. I'm like, holy crap! Like she's probably like the richest person, the biggest actress on the show, and worldwide fame, right? So I thought she was she was great. Yeah, like everything. This is a season where like everything culminates at the end, where some of the storylines come together. Ultimately, honestly, Eric, the Rick and Chelsea, like I don't know if I liked how that ended, honestly, with the shootout and the result. And let's talk about Rick in Thailand, okay? Before we go to the very end, like Rick tells Chelsea he's got to go to Thailand. He meets up with Sam Rockwell's character, which honestly, Eric, like there's a Sam Rockwell's dialogue at the bar like had me rolling. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about right now? And
so good.
And Rick's face is hilarious. Like, dude, what the hell did you just say? Had me in stitches.
Yeah.
Like, you know what Sam Rockwell's vices are and his pleasures. Hilarious. Sam Rockwell, always amazing. He's actually married to Leslie Bibb too, by the way. I don't know if like that's his real life wife. They're together in Iron Man 2, right?
Yep.
So that's cool.
Hammer.
Where that leads, their whole revenge plot. I don't know if it was handled exactly the way I thought it would be. Like I had a bigger reveal in my head. Like I feel like a lot of communication would have went a long way there to avoid certain things, you know, with ultimately learning that that's his dad, and like he's been told a lie, you know, basically his whole life, and impersonate, like them getting into the mansion, impersonating a film director. Like, buddy, like I would have you're going to go in there, pretend you're a film director. You better like Google all this lady's movies and have information ready. Cause like, I feel like his plan was half-assed all the way, you know, kind of just like shoves him over the desk and like just leaves. Like that could have went so many different ways, Eric. He's kind of lucky he got back to the White Lotus, but then you're back at the White Lotus and you're like having breakfast the next day. Like I would have been out of that country so fast. You know, this guy's powerful. He's going to find you. He's the owner of this hotel, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but like, what are your thoughts on this whole culmination of the revenge plot? And like, did you have any ideas, Eric? And like, did you expect a different surprise there or reveals? Like, what were your thoughts leading up to that?
I mean, it was sloppy overall in terms of like, yeah, like you said, have a few movies ready to discuss or talk it out a bit more rather than go full improv, right? Like I think that was pretty weak. Even when they're talking in the office, Scott Glenn and
right.
Walton Coggins
Rick.
there, pretty weak overall. Like he just shoves him, and even the guy says like, oh yeah, that name doesn't ring any bells. It's like, why not just tell him that, yeah, you know, that's my ex-wife or whatever, and rather than have like the pretty over the top dramatic in the last episode, he was your father. Like it was a pretty it was pretty jokes. Like the acting chops there left some to be desired, folks. But yeah, wasn't too crazy about that. But yeah, like you said, Sam Rockwell, hysterical. And I love his progression from like, I'll have a chamomile tea to 30 minutes later he's smoking crack straight out of a glass pipe. That was pretty nuts. And also I feel like just him jumping from the tea to the whiskey was crazy too. It's like maybe because he was kind of butchering the pitch for the movie. He's like, you know what? I need to improvise here. I got to get some creative juices going. This camo tea ain't doing it for me. But yeah, he was definitely a good standout of the season in his short appearance on the screen there. Very funny. But yeah, all over the place. I knew Chelsea was a goner when the shootout started, and she stuck around with Rick. Especially, it was nail in the head when Rick seemingly killed everybody like very easily, like headshotting all these guards, and he's like, oh, it's done. I knew she was dead. He turns around, she's lying there. I felt bad for her, and it was right in front of our faces the whole time. Like death comes in threes, and she's avoided it twice, but unfortunately stuck around a pretty toxic man, and I kind of was hoping her and Saxon would run off together, to be honest. I feel like there was some chemistry there, especially as he was trying to better himself. but ultimately he was trying to better himself just to get her. So his heart wasn't really in it for the right reasons, although maybe it was like to get her, like that was a good reason, but I don't know,
Yeah.
like he was kind of jumping the gun there. But she had a lasting impact on him, right? When you see when they leave, he's reading those more of those books that she recommended, and he's leaving there a changed man through her and for the home that's awaiting for him when he gets back home. It could be cell block 3. So we'll see how that looks like for the Ratliffs. But yeah, no, overall, that Rick storyline, it was kind of dragged out too. Like you knew he he had an objective in mind the whole time. Go to Thailand, go to Thailand. But even he didn't really know what he wanted to do. He even said it though. Like to be fair, he
Right.
did say, "I've played this moment out of my head 1,000 times. And now that I'm here, I don't really know what to do." So in that sense, you can understand where he was even like, "What am I doing here?" He didn't even know what he wanted. So, but yeah, like the guy, in my mind, it's all on the dad. He said he approached him at breakfast the next day. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't know on top of being a whore that your mother's a lying slut or whatever," and then just walks off. It's like, man, just tell him I'm your dad. Like I feel like that would have solved all of this. Like you walk out, you can both like, walk out holding your hands in the sunset, and anyway, so yeah, like you said, a little communication goes a long, long way, fellas. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like something, it's been weighing on him his whole life. So he just a flip switched, right? He saw red. He had to do what he did. It was easy. It was like the tragic flaw of a character, like in all the Shakespeare plays. Like he couldn't help it. And when he tells Chelsea to like leave, get out of there, it's very sad actually. And like she obviously, seeing her behavior in the previous 7 episodes, you know she's going to stick around, and she does follow him. Very sad. I was actually very sad that she got killed. There's some heartbreaking scenes in this season. The scene where Tim makes the drinks for his family, not for Lockley though, because he knows like he the poison like cocktails, but then like changes his mind right away, like slaps the glass out of her hand. That was a really good scene actually. Good acting. The scene with the gay talk and the hotel owner, the wife telling him like, shoot him, like gun him down, do it. Like, you know, his mind's racing. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I want to keep my job. I want this relationship with Mook to work. Like, you know, things are racing in his brain, and he ultimately shoots Rick, right? Yeah. So like, that was pretty crazy. There's some cool scenes like that. Like ultimate, like your fate's going to be decided right now, whether you do this or don't do it. It's the moment of truth. There's a lot of like moment of truth stuff, even with Tim, like, you know, the whole truth will set you free moment where he's like, all right, I have something to say, like on the boat, but we're gonna be okay. Like that was kind of like a huge weight off his shoulder, probably like left right there, right? Because he's been holding it in the whole time. So yeah, there was some good stuff in this season. I guess maybe this isn't my favorite season because I don't know if I liked where the Rick and Chelsea thing went. I thought it was a little maybe over the top with the shootout and like Rick gunning down people. I thought maybe more intense conversations would have been better suited for this finale as opposed to this whole shootout thing.
Gotcha.
But hey, I still enjoyed this season, Eric. It was super compelling to watch every episode. I was never bored. Good actors, good characters, good dialogue, cool setting. Very much enjoyed it. It's like my second favorite season after 2. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, this is probably my least favorite, but it's not that far off of the like season 1. 2 has a bit of distance though, but I'll say because of the slow start is kind of what it took a while for this to get going for me. Like it was the end of episode 4 when we really started picking up, and Saxon may have chosen his words poorly when he said things are about to get crazy, and then we all know what happened that night, and that's kind of where the season picked up, right? So I think slow start, but I didn't mind it though. Like even watching it week to week, even though nothing enormous or crazy is happening, like I still like the characters. I like what they're building up, and overall, I think satisfying ending. But yeah, maybe more conversations. Like I kept waiting for Tim to tell his family what was going on, and he never did. That was a bit surprising. And even at the end on the boat, where he did kind of give them the heads up, we never really saw him outright say. Maybe that's for the best, that we didn't need to see the explosive reaction, and that can be up in our imaginations for however we know Parker Posey's gonna react when she finds out we're poor. No. Who knows how she'll react, but it won't be well. So,
that was good.
Thanks. And no, overall I like the season though. Overall, like, a very good show, and excited for season 4. We've been going a long time there. We have put together some scripts kind of for season 4 predictions or what makeshift cast. Do you want to share what yours kind of looks like? I can do mine, or do you want to alternate like one group at a time? Like I put 3 groups of people together. How do you want to do this?
I can rattle it all off just so
Yeah.
I get to save time.
Sure.
I have more of the characters. I don't really have like storylines, more just the setting and the characters. So season 4 for me, it's going back to Europe because season 2 is my favorite. We're going to Spain, specifically
Ooh.
Barcelona or Valencia, one of the cities on the coast.
Nice.
And it's going to be a Spanish themed in Spain in the hot sun. Hotel manager actually is going to be Antonio Banderas, okay? Because he's a great actor. He shines in all the Spanish roles too. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of Spanish people, but also with the hotel manager, my 3 groups of people, I have Javier Bardem playing opposite his real-life wife, and wife in this season will be Penelope Cruz. So Javier and Penelope are going to be there. Well, Penelope is like my favorite actress. She's like my... Penelope, I'm in love with Penelope Cruz. I think she's a great actress, and she's beautiful. Yeah. Javier Bardem, one of the greatest actors, too. Okay, so we have an American family as well, played by the husband and wife are Jason Sudeikis, and then the wife is Alicia Silverstone from Clueless back in the day. You know, she's still acting. I feel like she'd be like the just annoying, nagging wife, and Sudeikis, I don't know, I just thought of him and Ted Lasso, and this is going to be a more of a prickier version of Jason Sudeikis. Anyways.
Okay.
My 3rd group, Eric, is just another real-life wife and husband is Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst.
Okay, nice.
And they're going to be like the comic relief. Well, I mean, Jesse Plemons, always hilarious. I just love him. So them 2. And the returning group people, anyways, it's going to be Sydney Sweeney, honestly.
Okay.
1, because we need more viewers for this show, and she'll get the viewers. And she's gonna have her boyfriend with her this time, played by Will Poulter from We're the Millers, also starring Jason Sudeikis. He's in what, Guardians 3 as well, right? Yeah. He's getting more and more roles. Yeah, we're gonna get more about her because Olivia in season 1, you don't get to see too much with her, but now she's gonna be like a bitchier, like causing all these problems. And lastly, Eric, I have a miscellaneous character I'm throwing in there. The man's in everything right now, so why not White Lotus as well? Pedro Pascal's going to be in this season as a private investigator, and we're not going to find out what he's investigating till the end. It's going to be like a melodramatic reveal. Yeah, so that's what I have for season 4. Everything in Spain.
Love that cast. I would tune in a heartbeat. I love how you preface the Sydney Sweeney character. We need to grab those viewers and then just get those all in. Anyways, but no, that's good stuff. No, I love that cast. I didn't see that character coming back at all, but I could see her like she's kind of following in the footsteps of her mom, right? Like she's like one of the most powerful women in the modern 21st century there, right? So no, I love that. And Javier Bardem be a good one. And I like the setting a lot. Antonio Banderas. What did you have anything fleshed out for Banderas? Like, what is he? A funny or more serious kind of manager? What are you thinking for him?
He's like super serious and runs his hotel like a tight ship. And then there's like stuff going on with the staff. Like maybe Antonio is way too like good looking to be a hotel manager. Like he's like, you can't believe this guy's a hotel manager. He's got such like presence and charisma. But like this might be a more like loser version of him where he's just like obsessed with work. Okay. Kind of like Valentina, I guess. Yeah. Yep. But maybe that one could be revisited for that casting, but might not be believable as a hotel manager. He's more like a leading badass. Yeah.
No, I think he'd be a great hotel manager. As soon as you said, I thought that fit perfectly, and like just committed to work. Maybe has also lived like a crazier life, kind of like an Armand used to be a hardcore drug addict, and now he's kind of on the straight and narrow path. Just like all biz demands excellence from his workers. No, I like that. I liked all that casting, to be honest, and I'll say right now there's one overlap in one of our picks, so it's interesting that we went that you went with one of my characters as well. So, and kind of funnily enough, a similar theme overlap as well. But So for my season, like I know this isn't gonna happen for sure because what I've long said about White Lotus is I want the fourth season or one season to go and completely change up its setting and go into a snowier setting. Give us like a winter lodge ski vibe, and that's what I'm going with
Love it.
in this season. The setting will be the Swiss Alps for season 4.
Mm.
I also added a theme of the season, like I said before, it's sex, religion, no, money, sex, religion. This one we're going with courage as the theme of the season. So, or bravery, if you will.
Okay.
So, hotel manager, and I have like slight descriptions of what these characters would do, but it's not fully fleshed out there. So we can workshop it in the brainstorming sessions. So, hotel manager, we're going with Remy Malek here, and he is a also, I guess this didn't click in when I wrote this character, but recovering drug addict, so similar to Armand in that sense, but is now
Okay.
he's a ski and snowboard instructor on the resort as well, and that's given him kind of a new life, and he's again now on the narrow path, not about the drugs whatsoever. He's more clean cut and is a more on the intense side, but is willing to give lessons to the hotel Ease. So group 1 is called The Family. So it's a middle class family, and they've won this trip on a radio giveaway. That's how they got here.
Okay.
So switching it up from your usual rich clientele here. The father is played by Domhnall Gleeson. So he's kind of like a boring, play it safe guy. Doesn't really take risks. And yeah, it's kind of just a vanilla dude. A little nerdy, on the nerdier side too. His wife, Elizabeth Olsen. And folks, I'll tell you right now, she was thinking of leaving this guy 2 months ago until he won the giveaway to this resort. So she is reluctantly accepting to go on this trip, but in the back of her mind, we know like she's plotting her way out here. She may even already have a guy lined up. I haven't gotten that far ahead yet, but that's kind of where we're at with her. And they have 2 daughters. The oldest one being played by Emilia Jones. So she's the main actress in the movie Coda, and she also plays Keely, I believe is her name, in Lock and Key. Something like that. So you can look her up there, but I think you know what I'm talking about based on the description. And then the other daughter is played by Sadie Sink. So Max from Stranger Things. And the dynamic with the 2 girls and the parents, I'm not really sure, but I want to say one of the daughters hates her dad and the other one loves him. So like they have like there's a contrasting vibe between the 2 daughters with the dad and even the mom. I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of what we're looking at. And spoiler alert, by the end of the trip, the father gets his courage back and Elizabeth Olsen stays with him at the end. So they come out of this season a stronger couple than they were going into it. Now this is where it gets a little funky, and this is where we're seeing our overlap, my friend Matt. So group 2 is called the Thruple. So it's the guy in here is Sydney Sweeney's boyfriend, Will Poulter. So he is. And then I'm just gonna say it right now. The other overlap here, where you had a bit of We're the Millers connection, we got a We're the Millers thruple here with Emma Roberts and Jennifer Aniston, and Will Poulter are in a thruple together. So those of you who don't know, thruple, 3 people in a couple, they're all dating, they're together. Now, the vibe with these 3, and again, I said at the start of the episode, maybe Jennifer Aniston is too big to do White Lotus. Well, you know, she's the superstar we got on this season. And I optionally had Rosamund Pike as an option to replace her. And like what I wanted with this thruple is clearly somewhat older woman, younger couple, even though I'd say Will Poulter and Emma Roberts are both like in their 30s at this point, mid to late 30s. So these 2 are a couple, and Jennifer Aniston is their couples therapist. And this is how they got together, in that they've been going to couples therapy trying to fix their problems, and Jennifer Aniston got actively involved in this relationship, and for better or worse is now a part of this relationship. Now, there's going to be some along the way, I'm not sure who, but one of these characters is going to break out of this throuple and hook up with someone else and figure out, like, yeah, this isn't really what I want. And Jennifer Aniston is kind of controlling. She's running the show right now with these 2. I wrote down Will Poulter, his character is dumb as bricks. So maybe along the line, he's going to something's gonna click for him. He's gonna figure stuff out. But right now he's just in a trance, and who can blame him in this situation? Now, group 3, I'm calling the fellas. So this is kind of your equivalent of the girls that we had in season 3. We got some lads. So the alpha of the group, Caleb Turner. So you'll remember him from Masters of the Air as Bucky, and he's
right.
in Fantastic Beasts. He's the cool brother of Newt Scamander. Thaddeus Scamander, I want to say. So he's kind of the leader of this group. Then the smart guy in the group, Corey Hawkins. So he plays Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton, that guy. And then the third guy, I don't know if he fits age-wise, and maybe we'll have to look this up, but I'm thinking we're going another Slytherin, the son of Lucius, Tom Felton, as the third guy in this group. And he's kind of like the guy who gets picked on in this group, has an existential crisis and doesn't want to be the guy who everyone just makes fun of, feels like he has more to offer, and maybe has a relationship with another character along the lines. Maybe it's one of the daughters, and not even like in a sexual way, just like he learns from them and realizes that he has like a creative side of him that to offer, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking Caleb Turner kind of he injects himself into the throuple. Like he kind of goes for Emma Roberts kind of thing. Or something like that. He's just a scumbag. Like, this is our douchebag of the season. Like we had Shane season 1, Cam season 2, Saxon 3, like Caleb Turner season 4. And then miscellaneous. This might be a little crazy and like doesn't make sense, but I'm thinking he's dipped his toe into the acting game. We're going former NFL quarterback superstar Peyton Manning is gonna make his debut.
That's the last name I thought you'd say. Oh my god.
So we're going maybe a bit off the rails, and I also had as a note he's gonna die in this show. So Peyton Manning is gonna have a cup of tea on the White Lotus snow season, and it ain't gonna end well for him. And my returning characters, which I actually think is a legit possibility to happen in the show, is Albie and Portia on their honeymoon. They're now together.
Okay.
They're together, and what do you know? Who else is coming back but Greg himself? The King will be taken down in season 4. He's the villain. He has to be in season 4. I don't know why he would go to another White Lotus, to be honest. I feel like he's settled nicely in Thailand. Like, there's no need for him to be moving because he's on the run. But in my show, he's going to be there for some reason. Maybe he's with Chloe. Like, she's also back. But it ends with him going to jail. I don't think he gets off easy being killed. They're getting him, and Portia specifically is someone who can identify him and take him down. Because it's not going to be Belinda, right? Like she's taking the money. She's like Johnny Bananas in The Challenge, if you know. Take the money and run. And she's not going to turn him over. But I think Portia will. That's how it ends. Season 4, Swiss Alps. Let's be brave, people. Let's show some courage. Let's go.
I love this, Eric. Love this. Starting off with just the setting, changing it up. Still a hotel or resort, beautiful to look at, just in the cold. Love it. You know, we'll get some different type of vibes, you know. Cold, but also people finding their courage. I love it.
Yeah.
As if, when you said we had a similarity, I'm like, all right, Jesse, I know you're a Plymouth guy too, but Will Poulter, I love it. Like the We're the Millers. We just went We're the Millers. Like, for some reason, we thought of that. And Will Poulter, you said dumb as bricks, perfect, like in We're the Millers, has some iconic lines in that. Yep. That's a funny movie, by the way. Anyways, 100%. Love it, Eric. Yeah. Big fan. I hope we see a setting change, like you said, where it's completely different temperature and all that, different vibe. Yeah, great stuff.
I would like that, but they pretty much, Mike White said like he wants, because people have said like, are you gonna do a colder setting season? He said no. Like he wants to keep it to he wants bikinis and speedos, you know. So just keep it breezy. And no complaints, really. Like, love the warm weather setting. But I do think, like, this still kind of can sell you that luxury, like in the Swiss Alps, drinking a $29.99 hot cocoa. And, you know, you're cozy up in some Canada Goose, some Patagonia, all the expensive brands. these people staying there in the lodge are dabbling in. But yeah, it's just fun to do, and maybe we'll do more of these
Oh
kind of
yeah,
exercises for other shows and predictions and stuff. But yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah, that kind of
You
wrapped.
wanna?
Yeah, White Lotus. I think we're kind of wrapped. I think in all seriousness though, I think you kind of end it with 4 seasons. I think that'd be a good maybe at the 4 seasons filming location. I think that's a good way to wrap this show with Greg going down. Don't want to overextend. I think, but there's been talks also like people want to see like an all-star cast season where they just pick from the past seasons like characters that fan favorites, and then just bring them back, and that'd be cool. Like I'd be down with that.
I like that idea too.
But yeah, I think that's it for White Lotus though, for real. So, anything that you wanted to recommend, Matt?
Yeah, I'll just throw two quick shows. My movie's been a little lacking in terms of like watching them because of like sports, like NHL playoffs, baseball. But I have been watching. I finished Black Mirror season 7 on Netflix. I thought it was solid. Not the greatest season, but like some really cool ideas. But I've been watching The Studio as well on Apple
Nice.
TV with Seth Rogen. I love The Studio because I feel like it's a show made for me in the sense that I'm going to understand and get all the little movie references and Easter eggs in it. And it's about making movies. I love it. And Mackenzie, who watches it with me, she knows nothing about movies, Eric, and she still enjoys it. So it's a show for everybody where it's funny, but also has really cool references to old movies. And Mackenzie has no idea like what they're talking about half the time with all these references, but she still enjoys the show, so it's a good show in that respect. Yeah, so The Studio, Black Mirror season 7, also like watching Andor right now, The Last of Us. There's a lot going on for TV. TV has been great so far. Finished Daredevil season 1, Born Again, Daredevil Born Again.
Yep.
Lots to watch. Eric, keeping me busy as hell. I'm enjoying all my TV right now. I'm TV focused. I did watch that movie with Theo James though. I mentioned called back to earlier, The Monkey. It's a horror movie with Theo James.
Yeah.
It's a very forgettable movie. Like it's not gonna make any lists or anything. But Theo James is great in it. Eric playing 2 roles actually. Kind of a theme for this year with some actors, but he's really good in it. And yeah, so that's The Monkey horror movie, and all the shows I just mentioned. I recommend them all.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of same boat. Really lagging in the movies these days. It's TV all the way in 2025 right now. But I will just throw out. You just mentioned like actors playing multiple characters. I haven't seen this yet, but I plan on going soon. Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, directed by Ryan Coogler. So I'll just say right now, I had seen a bunch of trailers for this. Had no intention of going to see it. Like I thought it kind of looked dumb, to be honest. I'm like, this looks horrible. But people are saying it's unreal and like a must see in theaters. So if you want to go see a movie in theaters, I think this would be the one to go check out right now. Anyways, it's people are like I think most people are saying it's the best movie of the year so far. It looks like action heavy, but also has some horror vibes to it. Where like it's I don't want to spoil it. People don't really know what it's about, just going blind. But just be aware that it may be on the bit of the gorier side, but what people are Letterbox the average rating for it is a 5-star pretty much. That's a high.
Insane.
Most people have been giving it 5 stars anyway. So that's kind of stuff you only see with Dune Part 2 out in these parts. So yeah, Sinners I'm gonna go see in theaters, no doubt. I also want to catch Warfare in theaters. I find though that movies don't stay in theaters that long these days. Like at Landmark in Orleans anyways, they get maybe 3 weeks to a month at most, and then it's on to the next. And they even get like the 10 p.m. starts, which for me that's no good, and I'm sure for most people also, like it's not ideal to go see movies at 10 on a weeknight, no less. So it's too bad. I mean, I feel like other than the big theaters like at Canada Landmark, they're staying a bit longer, but it's a shame. So if you want to go see to the movies, to the theater, see a movie, Sinners would be the one to go see right now. I haven't seen it, but I have it on strong referral that it's a good movie. And I've been watching TV, all the shows you listed, like I said, and Severance, actually. I finally got into it halfway through season 2, really enjoying it. Like, it had definitely been very hyped by everybody who said it's unbelievable. I'm really liking it. I like the world it's set in. Like, it's very mysterious. I like how it's shot, the retro futuristic vibes, super cool, and it's definitely got me intrigued to keep finding out more, and really enjoying it. So yeah, Severance, if you're like me, kind of late on the wave, check it out. Lives up to the hype for sure.
Yeah. Do you get Twin Peaks vibes? Twin Peaks vibes from Severance, Eric, or like a more George Orwellian Twin Peaksy kind. Like the pacing's not super fast, but it's intriguing, and like you find out morsels bit by bit, and you don't get everything all at once. Anyways, I thought Severance was very compelling.
Yeah, Twin Peaks a great.
Adam Scott. Did you like him in the show, Eric? Do you like Adam Scott in the show, or do you think he's like miscast?
No, he's good for sure. I 100% agree. Twin Peaks vibes, no doubt. I think he's good. I don't think he's doing anything unbelievable personally. Like he's a good main character. I think it's a kind of ensemble cast. Everyone's pulling their weight on scene. Turturro annoys me a bit. No spoilers there, but we'll see what happens there, where I'm at right now. But yeah, he's a tad annoying. Like, we must go to the perpetuity wing to follow Irving's followings, and I don't know. He's a bit much. I like how there's always something else going on. Like, rug pulls left and right. My guy, no questions asked. Seth Milchick, my boy, just my favorite character. No questions asked. He's hilarious, and he's kind of like running the show quietly, puppeteering. I like Patricia Arquette also. I think she's really good. Harmony, great character. Like that's what I kind of like. Most characters I find interesting, and there's more to them than initially presented, and you just want to learn more about them. But all that to say, like Adam Scott, like he's good, Mark S, but I haven't been blown away by him. I'm not sure if he has big moments later on in the season where it's like unbelievable acting, but I feel like he's just been steady, plays the character well, but I wouldn't be throwing out best actor awards his way anytime soon. I don't know about you, but that would be reserved for my guy Seth Milchick, of course.
Oh, he's one of the highlights for sure. Maybe we'll do a full discussion once you finish the season. It's a show that might very well pop up in our lists too. So yeah, that's awesome that you started. Glad to hear.
And yeah, The Last of Us, great stuff right now. It's fun to have that weekly show. Andor, I'll just say it right now. Like, have you watched the first 3 episodes?
Watched the first 2 of Andor. I'm on the 3rd one right now.
Okay. So,
love it so far. Love it. Yeah.
No spoilers, obviously, there, but I really enjoyed the first 3. More on the slower side. I feel like that's how season 1 started as well. I'm not worried at all about what's to come. Yeah. In that we still have 9 episodes left, and I'm just happy to be back in this world. It's so different than the rest of Star Wars, where it's so adult, and we're not here for the big action set pieces. Like, we'll take them, of course, as they come when they will in the season. But I'm fine with all these shadow conversations, the plotting, the looks. Yeah. All the little, even though words aren't even said, a scowl is saying 1,000 words without, or just a peek in a direction. Like, you're getting everything you need to know from those looks, and it's amazing. It's kind of making me regret not rewatching season 1 because I'm forgetting like who some of these characters are, and what they've gone through in season 1. But just seeing them is like, oh yeah, that guy or that girl, like I wouldn't say there's that many like main characters. It's kind of like in a Severance way, ensemble cast. The minor characters, like I don't even know their names, but I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like I know this girl's about it, or that's my guy right there, kind of thing. So no, I'm loving this season so far. No complaints.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I got to recommend, really. Like you said, hockey's been going on. Been sick. I was on vacation also, so I haven't been able to take in as much as possible. I'm still sick, by the way, so just rallying, no big deal. But yeah, no, a lot of fun to get into the world of the White Lotus with you, Matt. Any final notes for the listeners?
Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed our White Lotus talk, and hope you liked our season 4, like not predictions, but like imaginings of it. And I hope you're enjoying spring right now. And again, thank you for listening to our podcast. Thank you.
Well said, Matt. Thanks a lot, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for episodes dropping every 2 Mondays. Hopefully, the Sens can win tonight. We can reverse sweep the Leafs. Mm-hmm. And peace. It's not going to happen.